Hey everyone, this is Malkazar, returning another installment to the Final Fantasy XIV main scenario questline. Last we played, we got access to Ilmeg, the home of the Pixies. We're on a quest to get into that castle over there, which is where the Light Warden is, and in order to do so, we need to gather some special items, because they're essentially the keys to this location. So, let's go ahead and continue here. Oop. We need to head over to where we first met Urianger. What's going on? Weird. Past yonder cliff lieth Plot Any, home of the Numo. The others have gone ahead to scout the way. Come, let us follow. I'm getting nothing out of it. Oh well. It is better than nothing. Ooh. Let's see what he has to say for us. If the path striketh thee as precipitous, 'tis because it was once a mountain path. For where the lake now lieth, there was a valley. In the midst thrived the city of Verbert. 'Twas only when the Fuoth came, in the wake of the flood, that the settlement was drowned. We now stand upon its former outskirts, grazing lands where shepherds once tended their flocks. One cannot help but feel a pang of loss when faced with such a spectacle. But one can scarcely blame the Fey folk for so altering the land. The blame for that lieth rightly with the light, a force terrible enough to bring an entire civilization to its knees, an entire world. That it should have been allowed to rise up unchecked is a greater regret. Yet in spite of all the tragedy which surroundeth me, full glad am I for the chance to be here. 'Twas these hands which brought together the words of darkness and Nephilia, lest thou forget. Therefore, even were there no eighth lumber calamity to forestall, it seemeth only right that I strive to deliver the first from its doom. Only right, I say, though such words ill convey the strength of my resolve. In truth, I can no more ignore the plight of this world than I can choose to stop breathing, and thus do I labor, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. The coming struggle promiseth to test us to our limits, but so long as we stand together, I doubt not but that we shall prevail. I'm going to nod at him. Ah, mortals, just as we thought. Hast thou business with us? Business, ha, nothing so boring. We smelled you coming and thought we'd come to play. They do not appear to be the pixies of Legion Laron. Mine apologies, but we were in some haste. Mayhap another day. Oh, in some haste, are you? Then allow me to hasten you on your way. Tee-hee-hee. Teleportation magic. For mercy, we were not sent far from our course. Should the pixies find us again, however, they'll most assuredly repeat the trick. We have not the time to waste. Let us avail ourselves of an enchantment I have learned. Fey Cloak, 'tis called, a most ingenious magic which rendereth one invisible to Fey folk, albeit briefly. So they sent us back a little bit. Okay, not too bad. I shall cast the enchantment upon thee, and under its aegis thou art to make thy way past the pixies and rejoin our comrades. Know, however, that the enchantment shall suffice to veil thee and thee alone. Be not tempted to employ a mount, as will only serve to give thy presence away. At least I can sprint. What should we do when we find them? We send them flying. Teehee. Any moment now, whatever. Nice. No, I'm good. Oh, I passed it on the way. I'm gonna go back and get it. There was a Aether Current over there. Where is it? Is it up there? There it is. Dang it. Come on, dude, move. All right, back to Thancred. Oh, behind it. Stupid. A Verbertberg is what it said. I assumed you were right behind us. What took you so long? Pixies. Yes. I see. Yes, I'd say that's about excuse for your lateness. You are hereby forgiven. And other good news, the Numu village lies just through here. We'll enter as soon as Oriange deigns to join us. Classic. Mushrooms and fairies. Mortals. Mortals are here. Lots of them. Wait. I thought you said the Numu were Min's best friends. The poor thing is beside itself with fear. It was beside itself, perhaps, but not with fear. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable, I tell you, to have so many mortals appear at once. It's more excitement than we can bear. Greetings, Elder Wid-Ank, Tyr Knee. It hath been a while. Pray forgive me my brevity, but time is against us. We are come to borrow the stone scepter of the Numo. The stone scepter? Then, you mean to lift the seal over Liagia? That is unacceptable. Unacceptable, I tell you. If the king is set free, none here will be safe. Unlike our Fey cousins, we Numo have called this land our home since time immemorial. Leaving is unthinkable. Thus did full many of us lay down our lives to steal away our king when they were corrupted by the light. If we do as you ask, our sacrifice would have been in vain. Don't worry, we'll defeat Titania. But then you'll only become another Light Warden, and changes nothing. Honored Elder, pray believe me when I say this man is possessed not only the strength required to vanquish King, but of something still more valuable, a means to resist the resultant corruption. Indeed, he hath already laid low the Light Warden of Lakeland, all without succumbing to the influence of its light. He is yet a stranger to this land, 'tis true, but he harboureth the selfsame desire to see the Sin Eaters eliminated as we do. Wilt thou not lend us thy hand, that we might see thy beloved home restored to its former glory? You have always done right by us, Urianger. If you have placed your faith in this man, then so shall we. As you say, we want nothing more to be rid of the Sin Eaters. Be that as it may, this is not a decision to be made lightly. We require time to deliberate. A turn of the moon, perhaps. We don't have a turn of the moon unless we want to debate this with the Ulmoran army. Elder, given all that is at stake, I cannot well expect thee to simply roll over and acquiesce to our request. But even now a powerful foe draweth near, and I fear I must beseech thee to hasten thy deliberations, that thou must fetch us a scepter while there is time to yet use it. Roll over? Fetch? You know full well that naught gives us greater pleasure than to render aid to men. You know full well you speak the words of power regardless. It's unfair. Unfair, I tell you. In happier times, it was our honor to assist mortals in need and receive rewards befitting our deeds. Since the kingdom of Verbert fell, however, we've been starved of that man's patronage. After so many years of deprivation, it is difficult to ignore such an earnest entreaty. Very well, Oranje. I promise to give you as swift an answer as I may. In return, I ask that you and yours remain here the while and bestow upon us your patronage. Is this arrangement agreeable? Let's all do it. Let's all nod. You will offer your patronage to our people too, yes? Let's see, perhaps you can begin with Marnose. They are one of our foremost artisans, once held in the highest esteem by the Knights of Verbert. With the Knights gone, however, Marnose has had no opportunity to put their skills to use. They'd be overjoyed for your patronage. So, is that the way, like, a lot of these beast tribes are going to work? Is I need to go in and buy something? Yes, if occurrence inside. A little bit of platforming, it seems. Easy enough. Come on. Look, there's a little thing on the mini-map, but I can't get to it. Maybe it's, I need to go up something or whatever. Fine. 1,182, 1,183, 1,000. Oh, wait, did I already count that leaf? What, who, what, where? Wait, you're immortal. Huzzah, huzzah. Well met. Yes, very well met indeed. Have you old and tired arms and armor that have threatened to fall apart at critical junctions in battle? If you answered yes, you've come to the right Numo. I will restore your equipment to pristine condition for a payment of a pair of moss fungus legs. Moss fungi roam outside the cave. Please, please, please give me their legs and your patronage to me. Too bad, you know, if you've done this before and you have like a list of things you need to get, too bad you can't actually just go get them beforehand. That way you have it already. Not paying attention. I'm in the same zone. We're really close to it, but now it's costing 200 almost. Ah, you returned, and with the moss fungus legs, I hope. They are tools of my trade, lest you wonder, used to polish metal and leather, like to a lustrous sheen. Now that I have work again, I must replenish my stores. I'll give him the 2. Also, 2 moss fungus legs as befits the work. To have neither more nor less expected of us than what we can provide. There is no greater joy. You see, for there to be honor in a task, you must receive precisely what it is worth. So little means you belittle your ability, and too much means you question our integrity. You have given me fitting payment, so my services are at your disposal. I shall begin by inspecting your equipment. I see. Though I must ask for a small fee for the materials, I am pleased to say that all your arms and armor may be restored. If you mean to change them in the near future, however, there is no need to hurry. My first repair is complimentary. Here's the coin with which you may pay me when you desire to have work done. Many thanks for your patronage. He's giving me the money to pay him? Oh. Quest money. Oh, and if you mean to offer your patronage to another, I may suggest you skiff over there, yonder. Judging from your equipment, 'tis plain you're no stranger to battle. I believe Yisgif will have something to offer you. There, prepared. Like I said I would. I'd have so many men visit us at once. This is a joyous day indeed. If it please you, please give me your patronage. As my patron, I ask that you remove the noxious mushrooms that grow in our cave. Flame spores, they're called. We would tend to them with magics, except they leave behind a harmful ash. We have no choice but to pluck them out one at a time. Now, you'll be curious as to what I have to offer. I am a purveyor of wares that will aid you in your travels. In exchange for your fitting payments, I'll give you my choicest items. Oh, it's up there. Up on the stairs. You've already removed the flame spores. How very quick you are. Oh, but did you perchance search by the western entrance as well? I'm told that more have cropped up in that area. Tedium. That's fine. Need to learn about the people in the world. As you pluck the last of the flame spores, you sense a gaze from the entrance. Gasp! I wasn't spying on you or anything. I've just finished my task and I should go and report back. She remember me? Ah, you have returned. Have you dealt with the flame spores by the western entrance as well? Excellent. No more poisonous spores irritating our noses. For a little while at least. Oh dear, I believe I'm getting sentimental. Having a patron again, it reminds me of the old days. There every day, I would carry my wares to the castle and offer in exchange for men's patronage. Back then the castle wasn't called Liagia. The Verbertites built it, and they named it Gruinus Lich. It was their last bastion in the struggles against Sin Eaters, and now they're all gone, all of them. Nobles and knights and common folk alike. But enough reminiscing. I must give you what you've earned. And if you desire anything else I possess, I'd be glad to offer them to you. For a fitting price, of course. Now, will you be offering your patronage to anyone else? If so, would you consider Widlad? I have to like unlock all these vendors. That's kind of cool. I like that. You have to unlock vendors. They've been under the weather of late, and the chance to perform an honorable task would cheer them up. Bum, 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 bum. I'm almost at 100,000 health now. What do you sell? Trinket Peddler. Okay. Sell everything. What? You would be my patron? But I can't do anything for you. The lawless ones took my invisible ink, and without it, I can't make my arcane wares. Who are the lawless ones? They're new like us, except they've turned their backs on our values. Curs without honor they are. They refuse to work, instead spending all their time cavorting and making a nuisance of themselves. It was when I was outside for a walk that they set upon me and robbed me of my possessions, the ink included. I was too weak to resist them, but you, mortal, you look quite strong. Do you think you could take back my ink back from those villains? If you do this, I'll consider it your patronage, and by way of my service, I'll make you something very special. Excuse me, Malkazir, but I couldn't help overhearing. If you may undertake this task, will you let me accompany you? I would learn from you, and help in what little way I can. You're welcome to join. I thought there was always an option to be a jerk. Thank you so much, but I'm a paladin, I'm not a jerk. Lawless ones make their lair to the south, inside a cave called Father Collar's Chambers. They took many vials of ink, and I'd be grateful if you could bring back as many as possible. Bring as many back as possible. Same difference. There's an exit this way, I think. Oh. I could probably go get that next Aether Current. Yep, it's right there. I'm gonna go get that Aetherite too. It's just right there. Grab the summoning stone. It said that there was an Aether Current this way. Probably like in this building or something. Oh, there it is. He's like Wild Tomorrow. Can I talk to him? Yes, you can. Interesting. I have all the Aetherites in here, in this zone. I'm be careful not to land near any enemies, because then they'd straight up kill me. Just in case, I'm going to throw a heal out. Cool. Where is this thing? Southeast. Aha. See it. I think I have one left. Where's that bad boy? Directly west, so it's going to be up in that area. Okay. Don't need it yet anyway. Can't really do much, even if I did have it. because I don't have the other. I need 2 more blue quests. Well, 1 blue quest and 1 probably the final quest of the zone. That's usually how they work it. Father Collard's chambers is through here. I peered inside, and sure enough, it was milling with Numo. They looked none too friendly. If Thank were here, he'd tell me to go about it quietly and quickly. Let us split up. I'll find all the ink I can and then come back outside. See you shortly, Malkazer. They're all hostile. Oh, this thing's cute. Look at a little flying pig. Fungamancer. There you go. It's new D&D class. All these AoEs, what the heck? Oh, come on. Uninterruptible. But I said let me just teleport back, but I need to go talk to Minfilia first, apparently.
goodness, there you are. Those Numo were rather frightening. I'm glad you're safe.
I'm glad you're safe too.
I haven't seen much actual combat, so I was a little nervous, but I'm happy I could help. The Minfilius before me battled Sin-Eaters as part of the Yulmoran army. But that had all changed by the time I was found. They held me captive, so that I wouldn't follow in the others' footsteps. I'd still be in my cell now had Thancred not spirited me away. When he found me, I knew nothing of the world. I didn't know how to live, let alone fight. Thancred once told me that if the efforts to summon you failed, it would fall to me to face the Light Wardens. I realized then that it was the only reason he kept me close. As a contingency. The truth is, he can't stand to be around me. Because I'm not her. I'm not his Minfilia. Once, we journeyed to Nabatha-Reng together, to the place where the Oracle appeared and stayed the flood. As we drew near, I felt as though I was fading away. I shut my eyes and covered my ears, and then... I'm not sure what happened after that. I have a vague feeling that I said something to him. Only it wasn't me at all. It was her. Afterwards, Thancred didn't say a word. Only kept to himself and brooded. There's nothing I can do for him. Nothing I can offer but my presence. Though it only reminds him of his loss. She should be the one to live on. That's why I tried to find you. Because I knew that was what she wanted. But
Sure about that?
yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it was she intended me to do. Was I meant to give you something or bring you to someone or somewhere? I can feel the answer at the edge of my mind, just out of reach. What is that?
Why? Why did you imprison us? Such boredom, such tedium have we suffered. It is unfair. Unfair. Come. Come and play with us.
On my way.
In the castle. This is everything I have. Please see it delivered to the Numo.
But
I will bear word to Thancred and the others.
except aren't we all in the same location? Mercy, Your Majesty. We had no choice. Please forgive us. Oh, it's you. My ink. Were you able to retrieve it? Ah, yes. This is the ink. Almost all of it, too. When our king spoke to me, my day went from bad to worse. But thanks to you, it's simply bad again. What? You had the vision too? Oh, woe is us. Ordinarily, when a living being turns into a sin eater, it loses everything about its mind that defined it. However, the king has retained some of her instincts. This manifests in the desire to play and be free. So strong as that desire, it often leaks through the seal to invade our consciousness. For a long time, we've ignored it, but we can't do so forever. But forgive me, I was going to thank you for reuniting me with my ink. You did exactly as I asked, so I'll give you the service I promised. Nothing up my sleeve, and voila, may it serve you well. What are you giving me? Good for a single journey through the Aetheryte network. Cool. There's nothing like honorable work. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity. Oh, I should mention that Elder Wid Ank returned a moment ago. If you seek them out, I dare say they'll have tidings for you. Did a blue quest show up? Nope. Ah, there you are. I'm informed that you've been an excellent patron to our people. For that, you have my thanks. Now then, you'll be pleased to hear that we've come to a decision regarding the scepter. If you would gather your companions, I will deliver our answer. The answer is going to be no. It'll be ridiculous. Before I begin, please allow me to express my gratitude for your kind patronage. Having been deprived of purpose for so long, our people are overjoyed at being able to serve again. But on the matter of the stone scepter. During our deliberations, we are forced to concede that we will never have the power to deal with our fallen monarch. We can release Satana neither from the castle nor from torment. In light of this, we have decided to entrust their fate to you. There you go, invisible scepter. Take it, the stone scepter of the Numo. That makes 3 relics. One more and we can arrange a meeting with the warden. Ere you continue your quest, allow me to enlighten you as regards to your foe. Know that Titania is not a name, but a title bestowed upon one chosen to lead the pixies by the grace of nature. This leader, upon Ilmaig's founding, arose as a ruler of all Faefolk to bring order to our riotous kind. In our turn, we Faefolk rendered our blessing unto nature, unto water, wood, and wind, that our king might be further empowered. Though they are become a sin eater, their powers remain unchanged. When you face them, be prepared to face the full fury of nature. Oh dear, is there anything else that we should know? Anything else? Only that if you feel unready for the challenge, and none here will blame you for it, you are welcome to remain among us a while longer. After all, I myself have yet to enjoy your patronage, and who knows when I will next have the chance. We would see that you are comfortable, of course, and do all our power to make you feel at home. Oi! Honestly, I look away for one moment, and every Fae and their knuckle tries to steal my sapling from me. This is my sapling. Mine, do you hear? Not yours, and not the Fuath's. And anyone who as much thinks about trying to seduce him will wish they hadn't. The final relic is a pair of shoes wrought of crystal. They are held in the Morrow safekeeping at their settlement, Wollockdorf. It beareth mentioning that these Amaro are unlike those with which thou hast heretofore encountered. Owing to a peculiarity of evolution, they are capable of speech, and thus we might negotiate with them as we have with the Fae folk. Though it saddens us to see you leave, we wish you well on your way. When you arrive in Wolkdorf, seek out the largest of the Amaro. His name is Sito, and he is their leader and the bearer of the relic. Blue quest? No. Good thing I have a teleport. No, I'm gonna save that for when I need it for like 1,000. I need to find an enormous Amaro. There he is. Easy peasy. An enormous Amaro slumbers peacefully. Say his name. Seto. Seto Kaiba. Ardbert? Oh, forgive me, I was having a dream. Seldom do men visit us. What brings you to our village? Did I hear you right? You desire the crystal shoes that you may confront the Light Warden? No. No, you mustn't think such thoughts. Even if you are indeed immune to Light's corruption, as you claim, vanquishing the king will bring you naught but sorrow. Forget this folly. Return whence you came. While we appreciate your concern, we have no choice in the matter. Will you not reconsider? Dot, dot, dot. Come, my friends. Let us leave him with his thoughts. And not about it. "'Tis harder by fair to change the minds of they who mean well than they who mean ill." Forgive me, but I'm not sure I understand. And little wonder, 'tis the first time thou hast set foot here. 'Twould behoove you all to learn something of the nature of this community, I think, and there is no surer way than to speak with its members. Talk to everybody. Hooray! In such wise, you will come to understand Seto's reason for refusing us, and I hope an insight on how we may yet be persuaded. So I bid you seek out the Amaro and make yourselves known to them. A gentle touch shall suffice by way of greeting. How many do I have to talk to? 15. Slash pet. I have to pet him. How long it has been since I last felt man's touch? I cannot help but be reminded of my master's hand. He was a knight of Verbert, a noble and valiant soul. But like so many others, he died fighting the Sin Eaters. Though he's long departed, I remain in this land out of respect for his memory. Slash pet Ioam. That tickles. Enough. I never had a master. I'm not accustomed to it. Not that I dislike your kind, you understand. On the contrary, we Amaro were bred to be fond of men. In the beginning, we were all of us mindless beasts, but then a mage of Ronka gave us the gift of intelligence that we might better serve our masters. After the Empire fell, those with the gift eventually died out. On rare occasions, however, we are born with the seed of our ancestors in us. If we live long enough amongst men, this seed may quicken, restoring the power of speech to us amongst other things. So it was with me, though I never had a master, as I told you. Nimbus. Pet Nimbus. What's happening? Why am I being patted? It's wonderful. Seldom do we have the chance to enjoy the attentions of men. Your kind are loath to come here for fear of the Fey folk. But then we are Fey folk too. When first we made our home here, we swore an oath to the Fairy King, you see. It's easy to forget sometimes. Ah, they swore an oath. Wonder what the oath was. Thou hast peered into the hearts of the Amaro, I take it? Then thou canst not choose but see the intense and abiding love they bear for men. It is out of concern for our welfare, not scorn, that Cedo seeketh to dissuade us from confronting their king. Yet confront their king we must, and to that end we must needs have the crystal shoes. Malchezair, might I prevail upon thee to confer with Cedo in private? The task of slaying the Light Warden will ultimately be thine, and it is for thee, I believe, that he worrieth most. Tell him of thy many great deeds. Spoken in earnest, thy words may yet move him to change his mind. That you have spoken with my brethren. Then you see it is not out of scorn that I deny you the relic. I simply cannot bear to see men fight and die. Not anymore. None of us can. To lose one who has placed a gentle hand on us even once fills our hearts with untold sorrow, and brothers and sisters will readily attest. It's something I must do. What am I to make of such declarations? Tell me, why do you wish this? This land is no longer man's to fight for, nor will your doing so compel the Fey folk to change, and in order to obtain the other relics, you will already have paid the due price. Not more is owed. Why then would you risk all to face our fallen king? To save the world. What did you say? The very words. Could it be mere coincidence? Very well, you may believe what you say, but we shall see if you have the strength to do it. You're gonna test me, of course. Sin Eaters have been prowling the area of late. Prove yourself against them, and I will consider giving you the relic. See that you are well prepared, and then meet me in the clearing to the east. There, I will lure out the fiends, that you may slay them. That's right, it's at the... Yeah. At the castle. I will use my voice to lure out the Sin Eaters, as I once did when I hunted with an old friend. A feeble cry for the ravenous, a mighty roar for the territorial. I still remember the tricks. But come, we begin at your signal. Ready then? Very well. You made short work of these creatures. I will not deny it. I have seen enough. Let us return to Wolkdorf. By the ease with which you slew those sin eaters, I see that you are capable. However, I still require time to think. And if you should be willing, there is a favor I would ask of you. This is not a test of your strength, but a personal request. Please hear my tale. A while ago, I fought sin eaters who had wandered into Ilmig. In the heat of battle, I dropped a prized possession, a medallion. Of all the places that it should fall, it was at Long Mirror Lake. We Amaro are not fond of water. We certainly cannot dive very deep. I briefly entertained the thought of turning to the Fuoth, but they are more likely to keep the medallion out of mischief than return it to me. I had despaired of retrieving my treasure, but of having seen what you are capable of, perhaps you'll be able to find it. While I ponder your request for the shoes, will you not go and search for my medallion? If it should elude even you, I will accept that it is gone forever. Oh, blue quest. Yeah. It's kind of far to go. At least I could teleport back. All the way over there. Look at this blue quest along the way. It'd be nice if it handily led me in the correct direction. I see you. Don't aggro to me. What rainbow lorikeet. You find a set of Amaro tracks? Oh, that's right. This is a blue quest. Don't care. It is kind of heading me in the right direction. That's fine. Multitasking. I like it. Spinny spin. Reminds me of I want to play Tales of Symphonia again. Nice. I thought falling in water wouldn't hurt me, but apparently it does now. If it fell into the lake, how to get inside of this building? Oh. Huh. I opened the tried to teleport twice. It didn't like that. All right, let's go ahead and turn this in. Ah, you are returned. How fared your search?
My medallion! You found it! Oh, I know not how to thank you. It is my most treasured possession. A gift from a dear departed soul. He was a traveler, and together we journeyed to the ends of the world and back again. When I was young. In those days, I could not speak, but we found joy in each other's company nonetheless. Oh, the memories. This medallion he found during an adventure, fashioned it into a necklace for me, his partner in crime. Not the words to tell him then, but it filled my heart with pride. I was so happy. His name was Artbert, and he was my friend.
Artbert, thou sayest?
Everyone blamed him for the flood, him and his comrades. Some few spoke up for them, of the many whose lives they had touched. But as the years went by, their voices were drowned out by those who only uttered the adventurers' names as a curse. It was too much to bear, and so I left behind men and their lies and came to this place. Artbert was a trusting soul, constantly being drawn into the troubles of others. Yet in spite of this, he never thought twice when he saw someone in need. He always tried to help. It was no different then. The world needed heroes. It needed him. And yet, he was a good man. He deserved to be happy. I wish I could have told him that, at least.
I'm sure Ardbert knows how you feel.
You remind me of him. Your kindness. When we Amaro were created, we were granted the ability to perceive souls. Thus did we recognize our masters. That ability has long since faded from our kind. But due perhaps to my reversion, I can see your soul. Faintly, but surely. It is reminiscent of Artbert's. Strikingly so. Of course, you are you and no one else. We are defined not by the soul we are born with, but the path we walk. Nevertheless, I cannot help but feel that this is more than mere coincidence. Which is why I will place my faith in you. The relic. It is yours.
Sweet. Am I gonna nod? Oh man, no nods.
Trouble! Terrible trouble!
course there is.
Has something happened at Lida Loran?
Together with the twins, we were playing tricks on some nasty mortals to stop them from setting foot in Ilmeg. At first they ran off screaming, which was lots of fun. But then a scary, bony, wrinkly old mortal came along and spoiled everything. None of our tricks seemed to work on him, which is no fun at all. And now they're getting closer and closer.
Ranjit. If he manages to find his way in, all our efforts will have been for naught. As thou sayest. Should we be discovered ere our mission here is complete, and the Light Warden yet liveth, our task will be rendered nigh impossible.
And we're gonna go straight for the Light Warden.
If we are to prevail, we must needs divide our forces. Thus do I propose the following. Whilst thou salliest forth to meet with the Light Warden, we shall join in the effort to obstruct the trespassers. Should we succeed in staying their advance, all the better. Yet even should we fail, if we can but delay our enemy's arrival long enough for thee to secure victory, our plan may still be deemed a success. The moment the lights go out, we all beat a hasty retreat, yes?
Let me come with you. I have the blessing too.
No, Minfilia. You'll only get underfoot. Now come.
Let her fight. That's kind of what old Minfilia said.
I wish there were more I could do. Please be careful.
So now I have all the things I need to get into the keep. Forgive me, it seems my indecision has cost you precious time, but I am convinced now, convinced that you will triumph. To the south you find the bridge to Liagia. At the bearer of the 4 relics, the gate to the castle will open to you. All the way down there, okay. Gonna take me a minute. Wonder if this is another dungeon. But at least with that one, I'll get the last. Well, actually, I should get both of them. I should get that one while I'm in there, and then get the one from the quest. I'll be able to fly here. Haha. Again, all but one. Yeah, it looks like this might be a dungeon. If that's the case, I may have to wait till next time to do it. We will see. The gate has recognized that you bear all 4 relics. The seal is broken. All that remains is enter the castle and confront Titania, a being bereft of reason and mercy. It is sure to be a ferocious battle, but if anyone could bring an end to our king's torment, it is you. Yet know this, my adorable sapling. The way fae folk may appear to live unfettered lives, there are still laws that bind us. Take back as much as is taken, to create as much as is destroyed, to give as much as is received. In all things, balance must be preserved, and the same will be asked of you. But worry not, come what may, your beautiful branch will ever be at your side. The Dancing Plague. Let's see if it's a regular dungeon. It is not. It's a trial. Can I do this as a trust? No. This one I have to do as a regular group. Dancing Plague, join. If it was a regular dungeon, I have to wait because it takes so long to do, but this one may not be that bad. Really have to take some time and go to Limsa and turn all these things in. I'm gonna max out on seals easily though. So a lot of areas. Mainly this. That's probably just one big zone. I was wondering where to get to the trials, because I haven't had a trial yet. But I've only had 2 dungeons though, so not a big deal. Anything new? Oh man, here we go. Commence. It's a full 8-man trial too. Who goes there? Are you the one who broke the seal? Ah, so much time lost, so much frolicking and feasting left undone. We must make up for it, we must. Beginning by playing with you. I told him I'm new to it, and here we go. Divination rune, what does that do? Oh, that looks like the Tank Buster AoE frontal cone, okay. Mist rune. Don't stand in the roots and gotta kill the seeds. Ow. Did you not die quickly enough?
We're sick of this cramped old castle. Let's play in.
All right. Learn as we go. Grab an ad, that's W later. I was catching up to him.
When you play with fire.
Fire Fist. That's what it was for. Okay, cool. Oh, and the puddles disappear. Frost rune. Okay, what does this one do? Get out of the AoEs. Nice. Alright, I'll heal myself. And done. A little bit of shield for everybody. Ah, I could have used my passive arms there. That would have worked really well too. Plus, it's a lot of health. And almost finished. And done.
We can play no more.
Success. It always happens to be night when I finish it too. I got 3 comments for that. Nice. Commendations. And automatically thrown into another cinematic.
You have freed our fallen king. Not that I expected any less, my Snayak. The dress, the crown, the scepter, the shoes. The time has come for these relics to serve their true purpose.
And what's that?
For they are not only keys to the castle, they are also blessings to be bestowed upon the new king. The way into the castle is opened when it is time to relieve the reigning monarch of the throne. And the brave soul who does the deed has the honor of taking their place.
Oh, I become the king. Exactly, what?
Should you ascend the throne, you will become one of us, never again to live as men do.
What does that mean?
My adorable sapling, my precious mortal. We Fey folk live forever, but such is not your virtue.
I mean, I wouldn't die from the calamity.
For a dream you will never see. Sow seeds that others might one day taste the fruits of your garden. That is the beauty of your kind. Burn bright and shine as only you can. These blessings, your lovely branch will accept in your stead.
Oh, you're gonna be the king. Ooh. I like this one better. It's red.
Kinla, Ilishla,
Rejoice and revel, for the kingdom of rainbows is forever young.
Ra. Now, shall we attend to those unwise enough to trespass in our realm?
Awesome.
Confound it. How did they get here so fast?
Maybe one of them's a fae.
Damn these pixie tricks!
How in the seven hells?
Listen well. We come in pursuit of villains who have fled to this land. You know who and where they are. Now show yourselves and answer me before I lose my patience.
Oh, stop! It hurts! It hurts!
Enough! Lift the enchantment!
Minfilia, willful child. How many times must I come to collect you?
I won't return to your maw. And I won't let you hurt my friends.
What is this stance? Where did you learn it? No oracle I trained would make such an unseemly show of herself. Know your shame, gal. You're powerless. You have no life nor purpose, save that which our master sees fit to permit.
Who are you to dictate her purpose? To lock her away and deny her a life? If she was powerless, it's because of you, you sanctimonious swine. But no longer.
Fool! Defiance only begets more suffering. It is through acceptance alone that one may find solace in this god's-forsaken world.
And when is it going to turn night?
Look, the sky.
Right then.
He's done it. The warrior of darkness has triumphed.
General? What are our orders? What do we do?
We do what we came to do. Subdue this rabble and find the warrior of darkness.
Forward, men! Take the villains captive!
Now is the time for the king to show up and say, nope.
Are you deaf? I said...
The king has returned. Make ready the feast.
What's happening?
Water? That wasn't there before.
Oh, the Fwath are there as well. And that is delightful. Sing we shall. There's not very many of them left. Everyone's fighting. Everybody that we encountered in this area.
General, they come in greater numbers.
traitors shall face justice. My master demands it.
Nope. Aw. Explain.
I see. Well, it's a good thing Fairall volunteered to become king in your stead, for all our sakes.
We are grateful for your timely aid, Fairall, or should I say, your majesty.
It was the first night in recent memory. We all of us but wished to make the most of it. That's something you must remember about us Fae folk. Though our existence may be eternal, we exist only for the present. We live in the here and now, paying no mind to futures that may or may not be. To wit, we are not driven as men are. We cannot fight for such causes as men do.
Does that mean you won't aid us against the Sin Eaters?
Not unless the mood takes us. But if it was to repay a debt, well then, that's another matter. To take back as much as is taken. To create as much as is destroyed. To give as much as is received. Such is the way of Ilmeg. By this law, we shall lend you our strength. In return for the beautiful sky you have restored to us. In times of need, do not hesitate to call.
I'll be sad to lose you.
Silly sapling. I shall remain at your side. Even should my body be in the castle, 'tis a simple thing to have a little part of me accompany you. Treat them as you would Isnefis.
Gonna watch them fly away. Well, let's turn this one in. Never for a moment did I doubt that thou wast triumph over thy foe, yet the majesty of thine achievement delighteth me nonetheless. Night hath returned to Ilmeg, and we stand one step closer to delivering the first from its doom and averting the 8th Armel calamity. It is but a pity that we're not present to see the Faefolk put the Ilmorans to flight. It was a sight to raise the spirits, I do assure thee. Ah, but what valuable allies they might prove, were the mood only to take them. I can fly. I will pick that up and materially I'll get over here in the sanctuary area. I'm already in a sanctuary. Alright, well, that will be all for today. Thanks all for watching, and peace out.